What is going on, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be starting back on the G35 LSY project. And as you guys can see, car's up on quick jacks, and we got the motor right here, as well as all the other parts that we had in store. So first thing we're going to do is uncover this and I guess look for any rust spots, because it's been sitting for over a year at this point since the last time that I had done anything to it. So this is going to be my first time seeing this engine since the last time I put the crankshaft in, which is why it is sitting upside down as I uncover it. And now I have to flip this thing over and pray to God that there is no rust spots. Alrighty, so now that we have our light, I'm looking through and I don't really see much of anything on the pistons or piston bores. It looks just fine, completely normal. No rust stains, just oil stains, which is okay with me. Both sides look pretty good. And so with that being said, what we're going to do next is probably go ahead and drop the pistons in. Off camera, I went ahead and put rings around all the pistons. They are gapped to, I think, 30 thousandths. They're somewhere around there. I cannot remember since it's been 2 years, but these are gapped for boost. And these are Summit Pro LS forged pistons and rods. So these are ready for like 1200 horsepower. And the only reason I had to buy these was simply because I had a rust stain and had to bore my piston bores 30 over. So that forced me to buy forged pistons and rod. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out the order of the pistons and how they go in, and get some oil to lube up the cylinder bores, and we're gonna get to dropping pistons in, which is pretty scary for me because I've never done it before, so I want to make sure I do this right. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to work. Alright guys, so we got the first side done, and I didn't record me putting the end caps on the bottom of the rod bolts, but as you can see, everything's on. It's not torqued down, it's just tightened enough to hold. So that's how it goes. And the way I kind of eyeballed how the pistons go is there's an arrow that points to the right, and it's pointing away from the front of the engine, and I wasn't sure, but I used my set of heads as a reference. I found the right head right here. The top one is the one that goes on this side, and what I did was, as you can see, it has like this extra indentions in the pistons for extra valve clearance, and I just looked to see where the big valve went on the head, and it matched up the way it was supposed to. So that's how I know I'm putting the pistons in the right way. Long story short. So with that being said, I'm gonna continue on to do the other side. It took me quite a long time because I didn't know what I was doing. I kept checking myself to make sure everything was right, but nevertheless, we got one side in. It looks good, and It makes the motor look very old and ugly, but I don't care because this is my first motor. I don't care about looks on this one. I just want it to perform correctly. So we will get the other side knocked out, which I'm gonna jump to the finished result of that. All right guys, so it's another day and I got the first piston lined up for the second side. So we'll go ahead and get all 4 of these and then we'll move on to dropping the cam. Well, whoa. Before we drop the cam, man, I'm gonna move on to torquing these down to spec, and then we will drop the cam in, which should be very simple. Then I'll add my lifters and that will complete the bottom end. The only other thing I'll have to do is change that little barbell, which I'll explain later. So let's go ahead and get to work on this, and then I'll show you guys how you need to torque your pistons down. All right guys, so we got the pistons fully in and they look pretty damn good. So that is that. So for now, what I got to do is I got to flip the motor over, and we're going to torque them down to 30 foot-pounds. After you torque them all down, you're supposed to do 50 degree on each bolt. If you don't have a digital torque wrench, look up the correct torque specs that you can just torque each rod bolt down to. I believe I have a digital one. Actually, I do have a digital one, so I'm going to be doing 50 degrees after I torque each of my rod bolts down to 30 foot-pounds. All right guys, so we now have the cam in, we got the plate on, and you can see we pretty much got a lot of this all done. I even went ahead and threw the lifters in. Didn't show that on camera, but I went ahead and did that. I have some LS7 lifters I bought from Summit that have been soaking in oil for over a year now. Went ahead and threw those in. So the bottom end is about 80% complete. Just have to throw the oil pan on. We just have and after that we have our timing we need to throw on and the back of the motor. So another piece that I need to do is get a rear main seal. Obviously I need that, but it'll be a conversation for another day. I may have to sand my balancer or whatever that is down some so it sits right, but as you can see, cam is sticking through. I went ahead and threw that sloppy stage 3 I had sitting around, so we're gonna run that and see how it goes. Hopefully it's a good combo, but it's starting to come together finally, so it looks pretty good. And outside of that, I got the rear main cover. I got to get another gasket, and we're going to also change the oil diverter barbell, which is down there. This piece right here, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's right there. So that's something I'll do before I throw the timing or the rear main seal cover back on, or main seal and that cover back on, and we'll be pretty close to getting done. So that's really gonna do it for this first part. I don't want this video to be 10 years long, so we're gonna let it end right here. A lot of progress made, and guys, this is pretty easy. I've just been procrastinating a lot, but this is easy. So in the next video, we're gonna be getting all this together, more than likely throwing the head gaskets on and throwing the heads on, so that we can continue to strive to get this thing running. So that's gonna be that one. Hope y'all enjoyed the progress up to this point. I know this is a very random upload with this build, but I want to get it back done so that we can continue doing other things. So that being said, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're new, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see y'all on our next video.